everyone. Welcome back to the Kamen Riders Reviews podcast. I'm Kacheri, joined today only by a couple of my fellow Oni, Frez and Second. Because of stuff going on in my life, we have to do some weird scheduling things that is not kind to people over in Texas.
In Texas. Across the pond in Texas.
Anyway, we're here to talk about 4 episodes that could have been email, in my opinion, but
there's some interesting things happened in this badge.
I'm going to hold you to that. You're going to have to write an email every time you say these episodes could have been an email. I want to see the email that you would write.
And so Asumu is just feeling like a sorry kid and is sad while he watches soccer.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. We're going to talk about Hibiki!
Tradition!
Keeping the trope alive.
Keeping the trope alive.
No, but immediately standing out to me is, for some reason, 9 and 10, the intro has the sexy-ass saxophone playing.
Yes, they needed it. They hadn't done a saxophone yet.
Yes. It's good shit.
But we kind of saw a something, like, I know it was still a trumpet, but one of the like longer brass instrument trumpets in the Secret Lab in like episode 12, I think.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
we got a main drummer. Basically, before we hit the fan cutoff point, I want Hibiki to bang out the drum solo from "In the Air Tonight"
while riding a motorcycle.
There you go.
So we have this weird scene of Asumu sleeping in. It's spring break, and he sees a giant fucking sheep. What?
Okay, I've got to cross over to shows a little bit for reasons because of the scheduling things. You weren't here for the last Doctor Who review, The Leisure Hive, but I'm going to tell you the opening to The Leisure Hive is a 90-minute panning shot of beach chairs on a beach in England until we eventually end on the TARDIS. This is padded doll hell, and when I was watching this, I'm like, oh my god, this is that again. This is synchronicity. Just 90 seconds of Asumu sleeping and then punctuated by sheep.
It's so weird how much synchronicity has been going on like these last few months between our podcasts, but he apparently had a double date and he slept past the double date, and now he's just going to have a random day of him just meandering about.
He's going to have the worst fucking day.
Let's just cut to the what we want here to see. We cut to Hibiki, and oh no, his transformation device gets knocked away from him. He can't. He got it back. Oh.
This is wild. Okay, this has been a wild batch because I remember thinking for a second there, I'm like, oh, we're actually going to have a Doji and Hime fight that actually lasts a little bit. And it's just, oh, what? He got the pen? Oh, he got the tuning fork? What? Oh, he blasted them in 2 seconds? Oh, okay.
Frez, you were talking about how you were thinking we're going to have a longer fight.
Well, I got my wish in this batch. I got my wish.
Eventually.
And now they die again, but this time it's a double threat this time. Actually, there's 2 Dojis and Himes on the go. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, no, I mean we now have 2 primary riders we're keeping an eye on, so of course they're doing their own hunts. God,
watching this back to the hunts, all I could think was for the past week I've been playing the new Monster Hunter. So my brain,
the hunt.
Kasumi's like the hunt is approved.
Oh God.
Hey, I mean it's weird, It's like in Monster Hunter Wilds, you fight giant monsters that actually look like monsters. In Kamen Rider Hibiki, you fight giant PNGs that barely look like anything.
That's true. Monster Hunter did have a little bit more time to develop their CGI, though, I think, than Hibiki. It came out a little bit more recently. Just a little bit.
Just a little tiny bit.
Well, now I want to see them like cook in the middle of a fight, because you can do that in Monster Hunter, right? Like you're in the middle of a monster fight and you can sit down and just like eat a leg of a big giant monster leg.
You can grill a fucking steak in the middle of a battle. Yeah.
That's what they should do next. In Hibiki.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's because like here I am, like because I'm trying to be nice because we have someone else that was thinking about watching it with us. So here I am putting content warnings like, "Hey, arachnophobia possibly in this episode," and then Hibiki makes an ant pun. And I'm like, "Oh,
that thing had an ant." No, ants. It looked like a spider. Yes,
it had 8 legs. Let's be honest. It had 8 legs.
Yes.
Just added one extra. Well, you could make it a myrmecophobia warning. I just Googled that word and it is a fear of ants. Which I guess makes sense. If there's a word for fear of spiders, then some people are scared of ants too.
It's true. Scary. I just want to add. I just want to go back to the Monster Hunter one more time because you can beat up a spider in Monster Hunter, and one of the armors you can one of the armor pieces you can craft for it is, honest to God, fishnet leggings with a rose pattern.
Whoa! They should do that in Hibiki.
Yes.
All of a sudden,
fishnets. Yes.
All of a sudden, Hibiki shows up with freaking crab heels on, just.
The show is about rider kicking. You got to show off those legs.
True.
We actually got kind of a rider kick. Did it feel like that they were trying to implement more rider stuff in this batch?
Yes.
I mean,
we got
a motorcycle and a rider kick and
then Hibiki named every single one of his attacks, and apparently each one was a different name, but they all looked the same.
That reminded me of 0-1. I mean, yeah. Because 0-1 did that shit too, didn't it?
Well, then, I mean, Blade. So with Blade, they were playing card theme, and so how they did their finishers was, I think like the 2 of spades and the 7 of spades or something. I don't know, but it's like lightning slash. It was like something basic like that because they don't start getting to talking belts until Decade was like the first like talking belt really.
Oh. Interesting.
But half my notes for episode 9 is Asumu's a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
He just has a very bad day.
Once again, he has a chance to be a man, be heroic, and he sees a couple of people like shoplifting an entire shelf of books. Like, I'm sorry. This isn't just like they just pocketed, one book. They were literally throwing an entire shelf into this woman's purse.
And they're the most terrible shoplifters ever because you cut to a CCTV camera and it's just plain as day showing them doing it. Like, God, guys, at least scope the camera out first.
And like he wasn't even trying to stop them. They just ran into him on their way out the store. And she fucking clobbers him with her purse filled with books.
And it gives him a bruise for the rest of the episode. His nose is bleeding. He gets more fucked up in this than Hibiki does.
Yeah, no,
he had a really bad day.
He had a really bad day, yeah.
And while this is going on, Mochi does feeling sad that her love interest isn't there.
Oh,
girl, you could do better. You could do better.
True.
Well, listen. She's 15. She has to learn that lesson. It's an important teaching moment for all Japanese high school kids. Never settle for less than what you deserve.
And if you do, then they will forget about your date and they will leave you at the theater by yourself.
But it's okay because I fell asleep during that fucking movie anyway.
It was a bad movie anyways.
No, it's because it turns into, why don't we just go see it together? Like, she's trying her hardest to just be with Asumu, and Asumu's like, I think about 30-year-old hot men.
Oh man,
I'm just
like fucking. I think it's jumping ahead to 11 when they're walking home from school. She's like, "Oh, we should go to the cafe together and see Hibiki. Wouldn't that be nice?" I don't really want to see Hibiki right now. I'm gonna go. It's like, dude, he was asking you out. She was asking you out. Come on, you silly dolt. But he might learn. I feel like episode 12 with that conversation with Midori and learning about Hibiki. I feel like that's your line. There's your line for character development right there.
Well, he finally does something. He helped her pick up her things. So that's the first quote unquote kind thing he does in this entire series.
Good deed done.
No, let's not save the little girl. Leave your mom behind at the funeral. Don't stand up for the pregnant woman on the train. Don't stop the shoplifters. Oh, hey, a cute 30-year-old scientist woman just bumped into you. Let's carry herself. Yeah.
He's trying his best. Like, to play Oni's advocate here, if you were a 14, 15-year-old boy and you had, like, some shoplifters that were stealing stuff in front of you, reasonably, I don't know if all of us would have the courage to walk up to them and be like, "Hey, stop that." Because, like, he didn't do anything, and he still got bowled over, and, like, he still got punched in the face. So, like, his reward for intervening in that situation would have just been putting himself in more danger. So, like, if you're a 14-year-old kid watching this, maybe you're also in a similar situation where you're thinking, like, what's the incentive of me helping out? So, like, I hope that over the course of the show, he realizes that, like, the internal incentive is what has to drive you to do those good things, and not just, like, because somebody is watching you or somebody is going to give you a compliment for doing something nice. That's my thought about Adachi. That's my hope for his future.
Yeah.
I find it interesting in that it again harkens back to this really doesn't feel like Kamen Rider, because Kamen Rider, I'm Kamen Rider, I fight for justice and stuff, and you'd expect that sort of a heroic selfless mentality to cross over to your protagonists, but not for this kid, because this is halfway between Kamen Rider and some original thing with his own unique, strange vibe. But hopefully he does learn.
Yeah. And then we're at the 25% mark here in the series, and we know stuff gets messed up here in 20 episodes. So,
well,
they gotta lock in. He's got to lock in now.
But what? So actually, I would have been. So this came out in 20. I would have been 16 when these episodes came out, and I was. Yeah, I would have hated Asumu way back then as well, I think.
When did these come out?
So we were now in like May of 2005 or April 2005.
I was not 16 years old then.
Yes, we know. You got the gray hairs and everything. Oh.
Do you see any gray on this icon? It's all blue.
No. Yeah, no. I don't know. And the thing is, it's different because we're different cultures. But I also grew up being bullied, so I never had like high tolerance of anyone around me being bullied.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So I don't know if I've never seen someone like shoplift in front of me, but I usually would say something.
I mean, so blatantly too. Like
that just might be another reason why I'm not like enjoying these episodes as much, is because the self-insert character I'm having no connections with.
If this is a self-insert, you're doing a really bad job.
Yeah, I get that. That makes sense. Because, like, I think that, like Frez was saying, with other Kamen Riders, you have, like, an adult, most of the time, Kamen Rider who is, like, upright, and you look up to him because he's, like, your role model, and you relate to the good parts of his character. Whereas, like, when your protagonist is, like, a 14-year-old kid, and he kind of sucks, you're supposed to relate to them because he's 14-year-old and you're whatever, a 14-year-old teenage kid, but like you don't want to relate to the bad parts, so it's just kind of hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah, and then like you're also watching these shows for the action, and yeah, we get random cuts of Hibiki running through this cave in episode 9, and then he randomly finds some clothing. I'm like, oh, is that how they're doing the, victim of the week? Okay, that's cool. No, they're just going to have a giant rock crush a car. Oh, and then Hibiki runs into the ant monster and it starts shooting out Nickelodeon slime.
Yeah, I love that he really has he learned his lesson from the crab, but also it's like a hell of a lot of work to flip this ant spider thing over on its sides. Like he's trying.
And the thing is, they can only do so much with these green screens and CG.
Put a quarter in the jar, everybody.
No, but that episode 9 ends with the one of the shoplifters finding Adachi, and my notes is literally, "I hope nothing happens to him."
Oh, bro's about to get his ass beat. Oh wait, no,
the old man's back. Rain's favorite character.
He's just like, what the hell do you think you're doing? Get out of here.
This one gets a little bit more focused on Hibiki. Hibiki finds the rock, and by God, that CG of the rock sliding down that hill.
Have you guys seen that like SpongeBob episode where they ride the rock?
No,
God.
but
Okay.
now I can see how it would go because
A meme for everything.
Yes.
we do get a nice little piece of lore. Daddy Tachibana knows how to pronounce Ibuki's name. He just does it to piss off Hibiki. Because they're trying to figure out, because part of the mystery in this episode is they have no idea what this rock monster is. They think it's a flying monster at first because of the climate and the area. Usually it's one of two flying monsters, but they can't quite pin it down. It's like doing a Sudoku, and is this square 3 or a 5? It could either be or, but no, it turns out it was a 7 all along.
Turns out it was actually a monster
Yeah.
that only comes about every century, so they got to dig into the old books. And well, I have a lot to say about this monster, but before that, I just want to point out, I give props to Akira. She see where she faces down the Doji and Hime. She's just like, I don't give one fuck about you guys. You guys suck.
And she just randomly gets a branch thrown into her, but it apparently breaks her arm.
No. She gets they throw the branch at her. She blocks it with her arm and it hurts it. She didn't flinch or try to dodge. She's just like, oh, block it. Fuck you. Ow, that actually.
I'm gonna take this branch.
She tanked that branch long enough for Ibuki to come and
True.
shoot a shot with the trumpet. Oh God.
The Doji and the Hime goes quick again because we get the team up. The episode is literally called Team Up, which I wonder how that was. Great naming for the episode.
Hibiki and Ibuki are just two dumbasses. I love them working together.
It's a requirement to be a Oni. You gotta be a himbo.
True.
Banjo, take notes.
Now just imagine Banjo trying to get one of the sound things to work and none of them are working.
Oh my gosh.
He'd just pick up the tuning fork and he'd start shaking it and then smacking it. Why isn't it fucking working?
He breaks like a tree trying to get the tuning fork to go.
I love him so much.
And then Sento has to create one of those little Tykes pianos.
To withstand the force.
Oh, God.
Okay, press the green piano key to transform. Oh, oh, I'm sorry. That's a laugh I definitely needed. That's a laugh I definitely.
Oh God in heaven. Okay. Hang on. I got the good shit for y'all here. Oh hey Banjo, I've just invented your new transformation tool.
Real.
Oh, this podcast has been derailed. This is what happens when we don't have the firm guiding light of a Texan. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh man. Anyway, yeah,
the bike thing.
Yeah, let's talk about the bike thing. So, trying to chase this monster, Hibiki decides to drive Ibuki's bike, but you gotta remember Hibiki doesn't know how to drive from episode 1 and 2.
I don't know what I'm doing. Quick, Ibuki, jump off the bike!
Ibuki's like, why? But okay.
Because that's a cool thing Kamen Riders do. And
he didn't know how to brake.
The bike just drives right into a pile of garbage. And oh, but we should talk about the monster in 10 because
how did second do it legally distinct Gamera?
It's just Gamera. It's a turtle that retracts its limbs and flies with its shell using the holes where its limbs were as jet propulsion. It's goddamn Gamera! You ripped off Gamera and put it in your Kamen Rider show! What are you doing?
I mean, at least it didn't look horrible while I was flying around.
No.
It wasn't. It could have been worse, but it was a decent fight. And then this is the episode where Mochi finds Asumu watching soccer, and he was just randomly crying and all that stuff.
I think what they were going for was something about the human condition and why humans can be cruel to each other with all the shoplifting shit. Why is the world so terrible and stuff? And then he sees all the soccer players hugging it out at the end of the game, and he's like, "Oh, maybe humanity's not so bad." I think that's what they were going for.
Oh, I could not figure it out at all. I was just like, he's having a bad day. He's watching some soccer. Not what I would do if I was having a bad day, but I'm not a 14-year-old boy.
No, because there was a fight that happened, and I was like, "Oh, he sees that fight and knows he was just in one, and he's sad because of violence." That's how I thought it was going.
Maybe something like that. I don't know. Hibiki is like a Kamen Rider show mixed with a vibe show.
Because it kept on, because the character they kept on flashing was Unease, apparently.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have that than what the fuck they were doing with the Sakuras at the start of episode 11. What was with the CG they were having on these trees? Why?
Oh yeah, 11 is also when we get this weirdo.
Oh, the shadow.
What the fuck is up with this? He's got like a purple cloak and not a fedora, but a wider hat, like a Carmen Sandiego hat.
And I think it's a doji, because I think that's the doji's actor. Every time they flash the weird flash on the face.
Oh, I did not notice that. I just was like, that's a really off-putting guy. I do not like that guy. I do not like his vibes. If we are a vibe-based show, these are awful.
Yeah, let's also not talk about the fact that he shoves his entire hand and wrist into Hime's mouth at one point.
That sucked to watch.
And the doji's like reaction to it, like, oh.
Good thing.
Maybe these monsters have a little bit of humanity to them after all.
I mean, you don't have to be human to be like, I don't want you to shove your hand down my throat. What the fuck? I don't know what's with this guy. Whenever you see their eyes through the shroud, it lights up. It's like,
well, they did something weird, because I was noticing whenever Hibiki does his first transformation this episode, they had like an extra light across his eyes too, for some reason.
Intriguing. And also, this guy is just like staff. It's either clocks or gauges. I couldn't tell.
Scopes.
Whatever the deal with this weirdo is, he basically gives the Doji and Hime a power up in the most disgusting way possible.
Yeah, no. Just unhinge your jaw a bit. Let me get that all the way deep in there. You know, tickle the uva.
Ah. Yes. Don't like that.
This also had the episode with the weird tree slug that the CG made it look even worse, and probably not for kids whenever they threw the victim of the week into it.
Oh God. Oh, the victim of the week here. This is okay. This is the weirdest fucking kill. Okay, like other guys get like dissolved or drained or grabbed by monsters or some shit. This guy's just like, we're going to squish you, and then they Naruto run at him.
They just like body slammed him.
Squishy.
And he just body him like.
Hey, got the job done.
It sure did. Maybe they needed a method to like not kill him, so they think. I mean, I don't know.
These monsters can only kill people so many ways. They have to come up with another, 36 ways.
There's bound to be some fucking stupid ones. Okay.
Yeah, so the power up gives them armor. Really cheaply $5 cosplay looking armor.
It's enough to body Hibiki.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to do this cosplay at home, you just need some aluminum foil.
And let's not knock easy cosplays to pull off.
It's true. It'd be cheap and completely unrecognizable to anybody who hasn't seen Hibiki, and probably some people who have seen Hibiki.
This is why we stand Kikuri Hiroi from Bocchi the Rock, because she's both an icon and the easiest cosplay in the world to pull off.
So, let's see here. I thought Ada Wong was the easiest cosplay pull off, because all you need is a pair of black heels and a red dress.
There you go. There you go.
But I had X that was like, oh, I'm going to a con. Oh, wait, I have a red dress and black heels. I'm like, Ada's not a redhead from Texas.
She could
Close
be.
enough.
Just mod the game. She could be.
So let's see here. So the Shadow Creature is definitely their boss, because they both bow to him.
Mm-hmm.
And they also get punished whenever they failed, because they didn't kill Hibiki. So the Shadow Creature beats the shit out of them.
Classic villain shit.
We find out that the tea shop is a ninja house filled with traps.
Of course it is.
This is the wildest subplot. What is this?
Oh yeah, so we were talking about how Mochi invited Asumu to go on a date with her at the tea shop. He's like, no. Runs into Midori, which we find out Midori's created some new discs and all that stuff. So she's part of Takashi. Midori, having Asumu carry herself, goes to the tea shop anyway, where freaking Mochi shows up, because we have to have this sitcom plot.
Boom, boom, boom. Oh, it gets even better, because I'm pretty sure that last shot in episode 12 is implying a love triangle.
Yes, I will pair Akira and Mochi. Yes.
Yes. Yes. There you go. There you go.
Akira would be on time. She would have been on time to that movie.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Remember
So-
our takeaway from the last episode, her freaking out at Adachi was, it's true, but she shouldn't say it.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, if those two just had like a slumber party and, you know, Mochi was like, oh, I have a crush on him. And that could be like, you realize he's a piece of shit, right? Like, well, here I am on the train and a pregnant one. You know, it's like,
God.
So I said this in chat, but episode 11 feels like a Doctor Who cliffhanger.
the double slide.
Yeah, the slide down a random, just a random slide as, Hibiki is, quote unquote falling to his death. Like, all you need is a.
Oh God. Terry, I just want to add, because the Doctor Who, you missed some absolutely bonkers fucking cliffhangers. Maybe I'll link you one after.
Yeah, I could still go back and watch it if Rain hasn't deleted the stuff. It's just been a crazy week.
I know. I mean, you can just get that shit on Tubi,
Yeah.
All of, pretty much, not all of, but pretty much all of classic Doctor Who's on Tubi.
So, then we get the lore episode. We get even more lore. Did you want lore? We get lore.
Oh boy. Hey, why is it that whenever Midori gets excited about inventing a disc, she gets an ahoge?
She's just really excited. She's a true scientist at heart. This is indeed a Kamen Rider show. This was a run of episodes that randomly happened to remember, oh yeah, I'm writing a Kamen Rider show. I need a crazy scientist character.
So we find out that the disc animals used to be origami, which honestly, I feel like that would have just been cooler to watch.
Ooh,
like, I like the disc animals. But I think, like, if they were actually using the origami, that might have fit the theme better. That might have been the original case. Who knows?
That's a neat idea, actually. I like that.
Because it kind of implied like they evolved from, they used to use the paper things and now they use the discs.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that also meant, like, in the show, we originally wanted to use the paper things, and then Bandai was like, we don't want to sell those. Nobody's gonna buy pieces of paper with kanji on them. Please make a toy for us.
No, and again, I like the disc animals. I feel like I would not, if I was a kid, I wouldn't go out and buy these discs, Let's see. I really didn't put too many notes to this one because, like, at one part of the episode, the younger sister and Tachibana gets locked in one of the rooms.
I love this. Hibiki and Akira just have to run the tea shop, so they put on kimonos and just like, yeah, we got this. We're looking good.
They just had those on hand. Like, this happens. Does this happen often?
The tea shop had spares.
Yeah.
Well, the Ibuki's pants didn't quite fit. Like, it went like halfway down his chest.
Oh, these two are just locked in the basement researching. What a weirdly designed place.
Also, so you're telling me that Midori slides down that slide and then has to climb this random rope ladder. How does the rope ladder work with a slide?
Very carefully.
Did not think about that.
Like, I'm just imagining, I'm done with my day. All right. Third dimensional rope ladder, come down, please. I hope I don't break an ankle. This is going to be a lot harder to get in and out of work.
Getting into work is fun, though.
I think it's interesting. It's like a ninja house, because I noticed, I wrote down while she was doing her big exposition of lore, she said something along the lines of, like, wow, that's doubly surprising. Almost as surprising as if Hattori Hanzo was an Oni, and not to like Japanese history dump, because I don't actually know that much except for what's in video games, but I had to Google Hattori Hanzo because I was like, I remember that guy. That's a guy from real Japanese history. And like in a lot of video games, he gets depicted as a ninja, even though I
He's
think he
in
was like a samurai.
he's in Samurai Showdown, the
Okay,
SNK fighting
boom.
game.
Boom. And he's
Yeah.
like, so
He's
like,
in
does
the-
that
he's
mean
in-
that he founded Takeshi and he was an Oni? Like,
No,
like what
that-
if someone was like, that's almost as surprising as George Washington being an Oni and fighting the Makamo? Like,
Yeah, no, straight up. I mean, you could probably say Nobunaga. You could probably say the entire Japanese Civil War, they were all Onis at this point.
it's the
I
Oni
mean,
War.
This is
This
like
thing-
some fate shit going on here.
Yeah, no, this is, you could probably, like, if they're doing this lore here, you could probably say the Sendoku War was, the leaders were all different Onis.
Yeah,
Their
I can
world
buy it.
building
I can buy it.
going crazy.
Someone says crazy saying that Thomas Edison is a Kamen Rider power-up.
That would be crazy. I'm glad they've never done that.
The joke is they did that.
I gathered that. What show did that?
Take a guess.
Ghost.
Yep.
Oh boy! Wow, I got it in one. I'm getting good at this.
Not only is Thomas Edison a power, you saw Thomas Edison. He used it in that bad crossover movie.
Well, to be fair, a lot fucking happened in that movie that my brain glossed over.
Billy the Kid, a fictional character, is apparently one of the historical power-ups. Because
okay.
all the power-ups are historical people. So like Nobunaga, Newton, Isaac Newton's a power-up.
Jesus, it is fate.
Goemon.
Goemon, yeah.
I'm trying to remember. His
feel
own
like
dad
Goemon
becomes a power-up. His own dad's a power-up.
I feel like Goemon would make a good Oni thing if we're going with the Japanese ninjas and
Ooh.
Sengoku period stuff. Is
Mhm.
just Onis. That'd be cool.
And he had a giant blue pineapple head. Bring that series back, Konami, you cowards. Bring it back.
Giant blue pineapple. What are you talking about?
You never played Mystical Ninja?
I have played. Oh, okay. Now
Yeah,
I know.
Goemon has a giant blue pipe. That was part of the
Okay.
marketing campaign.
I-
They did it. They did a sexual ad where it
What?
Goemon. Yeah, no, because they were using sex cells in Nintendo Power for some reason. They had a scene where it was two girls in a hot tub, and all you saw was a blue pineapple head, implying that he was under the water with them.
That is the craziest set of words I have ever heard put together.
Let me try.
No, it's okay. You don't have to do it again. I understood them. They were just beyond human comprehension to me.
Oh no, it was
stuff.
no, it was four. It was four women. Never. Sorry, not two. Four.
Jesus, Goemon is just... Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. He can please four women at the same time. Buy our video game.
None of that happens in the video game, though. I'm assuming. So,
no,
like,
none of it does.
why would you buy that?
2000s magazine ads.
Yeah, that's fair.
Goemon's like 90s.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, the
Whatever.
last like new game was like 20. Oh.
And like 3 of them came out over here.
Mhm.
This was a
Oh.
weird tangent.
There.
Oh my god! God knows what it's about, but it's sure fun.
Dude, that was a lawless time for gaming, like advertising, like marketing in general.
Oh,
There were no rules. They just did this.
fucking Christ!
No, that was in the Nintendo Power. I owned that. I owned Nintendo Powers that ad in it.
Oh, the 1990s. What a time.
John
Oh, yeah.
Carmack is about raging me.
Yeah. No. It was John Romero.
John Romero, sorry. Anyway, let's move on.
He did not, in fact, do that. So
Sidekick comment. Anyway.
So to tangent away from this video game ad discussion, we should probably talk about something completely unrelated, like Kamen Rider Hibiki.
So the weakness to the armor is there's a time limit. So
as with all power-ups, there's a time limit.
So as long as Hibiki can just keep them preoccupied.
Which he does a good job of by getting stabbed in the fucking shoulder.
Yeah, that kind of looks like it hurts.
Or sending the disc animals after him. They're kind of like Gochizo from Gav. I was thinking that the whole time because like they're like. So I can't remember. Are you both watching Gav?
I'm watching Gav,
but I don't really.
They're kind of like Pikmin. It's not really a spoiler, I promise. They're just like minions, and like people compare them to Pikmin all the time because they're just like little guys that run around and are extremely marketable, and they like help the protagonist to do stuff, and they like cheer him on, and they have like cute little minion voices, kind of like Minions from Despicable Me, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
So like I can see the through line of the marketing. Like we have little guys that we can sell.
I mean, it's a lot better than the cars they were trying to use for Gachar.
Yeah, those were not fun to me. But the disc animals are fun. I think they're fun. And they like cheer him on. They like cheer Hibiki on when he's having a bad day or like when he's losing a fight. And then he sends them to die in war. So,
well, and the thing is, like, while he's knocked out at the start of episode 12, they all circle him to start screaming to wake him up.
Yeah.
Wake up! Much bigger contrast to a giant fucking sheep. Also, it's hinted that Hibiki might start taking motorcycle riding lessons.
Oh my god, our Kamen Rider might actually ride!
Yeah. First Kamen Rider who doesn't know how to use a motorcycle at the beginning of his show.
Oh my lord.
No, what's even funnier is, Gav doesn't have his license. Because he's not from Homeworld.
I didn't think about that.
Oh my god. Really twisting that formula here.
Well, who's gonna stop him, to be fair? Who's like, if a Kamen Rider wants to ride his motorcycle, who's gonna stop that guy?
That's true.
The police?
No, but long story short, Hibiki waits for the time limit to come out. Akira and Mochi becomes friends. They may start hanging out in school together. And yeah, no, honestly, we just got a whole bunch of lore about the backstory, and we really didn't progress the plot that much, other than the fact that we now know the dojis and the himes have a hierarchy.
It's very vibes based.
It's very vibes based, but as I said last time, I could see why this did not sell well. If the toy sales was a reason why.
Yeah.
We went over that. It's neat for us as adults over here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
For those 10-year-old kids who wanted to watch the Punch Mans.
Goku.
Maybe not so much.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they waited. Oh, go ahead.
No. I've been talking a lot. You go ahead.
I was just gonna add that I liked that they kind of waited to do their big exposition dump until a quarter of the way or a third of the way, however you see it, through the season, because I feel like a lot of shows open with the big here's the world, here's all the characters, here's their power-ups and their abilities and the backstories and all the stuff that's going on, and for some people, such as children, you want to hear all of that right from the beginning, because otherwise you won't stay with the show because you don't know what's going on. But they waited until episode 12 basically to give you their gigantic exposition dump about stuff, and I think that was good. I think I liked that. That's the general vibe, I guess, that I'm getting, because it kind of let you engage with the story and the world first, and like the stuff that's actually happening, and then they went back and slowly explained all of the like stuff going on in the background. So like I think it works for a mature audience drama, but maybe not the best for your standard Kamen Rider market, perhaps.
The thing is, it doesn't feel like this is leading somewhere. I don't. That's the big thing. Like, you watch Build, and this is about the point where we're starting to figure out that the master is evil.
Yeah.
And so we kind of know, okay, so he's the big boss of the arc. We know that's going to happen, and then we're going to move on to try and figure out the next issue and solve the next mystery. Gav, right now we know basically what the goals are from the main writers. We know, like, hey, Suga. Well, from leaks, we know Suga is going to be the next boss, but we know Suga's created all these dark mirror clones of Gav, like hundreds of them.
There's a lot going on in Gav.
Frez, I'm telling you right now, Gav is honestly, like, if we thought that Build was a 10 out of 10 show, Gav is making Build like a 5 out of 10 show.
Jeez,
like,
fuck.
Yeah, no, Gav has been insane.
Oh my
absolutely
God.
Insane.
It's sick. I will say that the Hibiki here is a very interesting intermediary liminal space between, rah rah, I'm Kamen Rider, I'm the hero for all the kids, and a more mature Kamen Rider like, say, Hideaki Anno Shin Kamen Rider or the Black Sun, where that's like strictly, this is Kamen Rider for adults. They're gonna rip each other's guts out. We're gonna talk about real serious shit.
On that same point, though, like, I know you didn't get too far in Black Sun, but like by episode 3, you know what Black Sun's goals are, and you know what he's pushing towards.
This doesn't really have serialization. It's just, hey, here's two episodes about fighting this monster, and also this kid is vibing around town for half the episode.
It's just chilling. It's a show about dudes chilling.
But the thing is, we know Hibiki just wants to kick ass. Yeah, cool.
And he's doing a good job of it.
He's well trained.
Well, they did introduce a new like upper villain. I think they're like slowly trying to get there. It's just not quite as like structured as some Kamen Rider shows where, like you said, they have the like concrete and visible direction that they're going in. It's kind of like they introduce things and people, and you're not really sure where they're gonna go, but they're there now. And I think that can sometimes be hard to follow and like makes it difficult to figure out where the show is going. But I do think they're trying. They got a new guy. They're giving their goons armor. We got armored goons now. And there is a very tiny thread that they're talking about, like, well, we've never seen this many monsters before, but there's a lot of monsters this year. So, like, that could maybe go somewhere, like a Monster Hunter game.
And Onis, there's not that many Onis out there. Could you imagine if they made like a Monster Hunter version of Hibiki? How awesome would that be?
I think it would just be Monster Hunter.
just have Kamen Rider in the game in general.
But not like with giant weapons. Like, you still have to use the sound instruments against monsters anyway.
I mean,
but
just play the hunting horn, Kachiri.
my main point though is, like, I'm having a hard time like cheering on Ibuki and Hibiki because I don't know them that well. Like, yeah, we've seen them, we've seen what their personalities are, but they haven't told us why we should really be rooting for them, other than the fact that, hey, these are the heroes.
These are just, like Second said, they're just dudes chilling.
Yeah, no, they're just
two dudes on a bike.
Can't be 5 feet apart because the bike's not that long.
Yeah.
Hey, I wonder if Ibuki's fly was zipped.
Oh God. Oh.
Anyway, so Rain couldn't join us because we're doing this in a very awkward time. So let's go ahead and play the pre-recorded bit from Rain. And
Howdy, folks. It's me, Rainiac, and I gladly write Kamen Rider.
I'm leaving it in. I am leaving this in. I'm leaving this in.
Hey folks, Rain here. Sorry I couldn't make the main broadcast this week. Something came up. But I'll keep my thoughts fairly short and sweet, because I'm sure Kachiri, Second, and Fresno will have already covered most of the stuff I want to talk about. But I'm still enjoying Kamen Rider Hibiki. I still don't think it's anywhere close to a Kamen Rider show. And that's kind of the reason why, paradoxically, I'm actually enjoying Kamen Rider Hibiki, because it's not actually like your typical Kamen Rider show. I think Second hit the nail on the head with the character of Asumu Adachi. Last time we did his podcast, he sucks. He kind of just completely sucks. And even in these episodes where, he's starting to try and do the right thing, like with the shoplifters, he actually gets one of them arrested, and then he gets beaten up by the other shoplifter until the old man intervenes. Love you, old man. Best character in the show. Also, him falling down the hidden tunnel, and the fact that they actually coordinated that with Hibiki falling down a slope. Fantastic. Love that. The Doji and the Hime characters were there. They finally got an upgrade. In episode 11, they became metal. And they actually won a fight, kind of. But they then got beaten up by the Undertaker because they didn't finish off the Oni. Hibiki, but they just call him the Oni, of course. We meet the new character of Midori. I think there might be more to Midori than meets the eye. I'm not too sure. She obviously, as you know, she becomes the exposition scientist in episode 12. But I think there might be some more to her that's going on. Is she also an Oni, like secretly? I don't know. I wait to see if that theory is proved correct in later episodes, because I'm not skipping ahead here. I'm enjoying it, but I want to enjoy it at the pace that the others are enjoying it as well. I don't want to skip ahead here. And I promised I would not talk about the CGI because, honestly, that's just too low-hanging fruit at this point. But I'll touch on the monster designs as concepts. I actually kind of like them in this batch of episodes. You got the giant ants. I can't remember what their Japanese names are, so sorry about that. Then you've got the giant boulder that crushed people to death. By the way, our random civilians of the week, those poor people in that car. That is not a good way to go. Crushed by a giant terrapin that's also a boulder. And then you've got the tree snail, and also the fact that they thought the boulder was originally a flying monster, and it wasn't. This is still Shadow of the Colossus all over, right down to attacking the weak point for massive damage to make it explode. Also, love that in one of the episodes, they didn't even bother give a close-up to the deaths of the Doji and the Hime. At this point, even the producers of the show realise these guys are kind of pathetic, and they're just like, no, just have them die in the long shot. And I wonder if we're all being misled as to where the show is ultimately going here, because I think you're supposed to think that Asumu will eventually become, Hibiki's apprentice, and he still might. Then he'll become a Kamen Rider, Oni. And I don't think that's where it's going to go. I think he will ultimately choose maybe to not become an Oni. Like, he might have that ambition for a while, but I think he may ultimately abandon it and just have a normal life. But again, I'll see if I'm right or not as we progress through the episodes in the series. Also, Asumu just keeps getting free food from everybody, which, is kind of a neat trick. And I feel very sorry for Hitomi, his would-be love interest, but it's quite clear they're not going to get together. Even though they're like in high school together. And by the way, I was wrong earlier. Asumu is 15. He actually says in the recap for episode 8, I'm a 15-year-old high school student. So yeah, he's 15, not 12. So I got that completely wrong. I thought he was 12. Whoops, my bad. But ultimately, quite an interesting batch of episodes. I'm very intrigued by who this Undertaker-looking person is. I've got a funny feeling it might not be who we all think it is. I mean, maybe this is, actually somewhat close to approaching an actual antagonist, as opposed to just these dumb henchmen and then their monster offspring. But I don't know. That close-up shot of them under the hat makes me think it might not be who we think it all is. Just putting that out there. But I enjoyed the episodes. Sorry I couldn't make the live broadcast. I will do everything I can to make the next one. And until then, thank you for listening to me rambling on, and bye for now.
Wow, it's like he's here in the call with us. bona fide Texan.
Oh, we gotta get Second and Cat on the podcast. The two of them.
Oh,
Just
oh, that would be an unstoppable fucking combo.
Rain would be dead. Rain would be dead.
I don't know if I'd survive it, but I still want to see it.
All right. So now that we got what Rain thought, you guys want to throw in your thoughts for this batch of episodes?
I'll go first if you don't mind. I dug it once again. It's a vibe show. Very interesting vibes. Asumu's no good day over the first batch was much more laid back compared to the monster fighting. And the second batch with this weird ninja house and exposition sort of took the center stage. The monster fighting was a little less, even though you've got the weird shadow guy and the armor. But yeah, it's still a very interesting show. It feels quite unlike any Kamen Rider I've seen so far, but I appreciate its uniqueness all the same, and I had a lot of fun with this batch.
Yeah, I would agree with that in general. And I would say I liked that they did attempt to return to a more traditional Kamen Rider show, or they tried to in a few of these episodes. I would agree it was not the most fast-moving, plot-advancing set of episodes that we have seen, if at all. But I appreciate the intrigue that they're trying to set up, and I hope that it does go somewhere. I hope it doesn't just fizzle out, because it is a really interesting show.
Yeah, no, I mean, I may not be having as much fun with this as I would of any other season, I guess, because it is going slow, but it's also picking up. Because I feel like we're getting close to what if this armor becomes permanent, so now we definitely need to have a power-up for Hibiki, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling like we're getting to that point. But I also was a guitar guy growing up. Yeah, I played the sax in high school, but I spent a few years learning guitar. Don't ask me if I remember anything about it now because it's been a couple decades. But I'm sure to enjoy the new string instruments we're going to be adding to the next batch of episodes.
Ooh, baby!
But yeah, so next time we're going to be talking about 13-16, and we're going to get our final primary Oni.
Ooh.
Don't forget to. Oh yeah, no crap. I had that off week, so excuse me. Fresno's, how's your Mondays going?
Pretty good. We've started a new game, Valhalla Cyberpunk Bartender Action. It's a very interesting little game where you serve drinks to people in the cyberpunk world, and they say the most out-of-pocket shit imaginable.
That's
just a
fun.
wild time. Just a wild time.
It just crossed my mind. You're doing Cyberpunk this year. Do you have any plans on adding Final Fantasy VI to the roster?
Final Fantasy VI. I never really thought of that as a cyberpunk game, but
it's very cyberpunky. There is I have the Ultimate Archive books, and I know I shared a random picture that had no meaningful significance at all. That Kefka's favorite treasure is his mirrors.
And your favorite part of Final Fantasy VI is Joker Doom.
Yeah, I'm still working on that video. It's going to take me forever. No, but there's a hard mode hack that just came out that a lot of people are playing for Final Fantasy VI. So, hey, there are suggestions. It's all good. Hey, Rain. How did the podcast go? I'm trying to get you to do the voice again.
Oh yeah, it went. What the fuck was that? This shows you how Texan I am. I can't do Texan. Howdy, y'all. There we go. The podcast sure went great. We talked about Doctor Who's The Leisure Hive, and it was real interesting seeing Tom Baker and all that other stuff.
Thank you, Rain. That was cool to hear.
Anytime.
Second, how's the covers going? Got any projects coming up?
They are going, ? I'm really enjoying Gozuger so far, and I am probably going to cover the ending once like the official lyrics are out. I try really hard to actually do like a close translation, and right now nobody knows what anybody is saying in the opening or the ending, I think. So I'm waiting on official lyrics, and then I will get that figured out.
All the music for Gojuger has been so insane.
Very good. It's very fun.
Every time somebody brings it up, I got the Seize It song stuck in my head. Go for it!
Yeah.
Go, you number. Like I got that stuck in my. It's such a good way to do roll calls for that show.
Yeah, it's a good show so far.
Oh, it's so good. And the fact that Goju Wolf every episode actually explains how you can do his combos in Tekken. After every episode is insane. No, Fresno. So the end of every episode so far, Goju Wolf, they literally do a like a 16-bit beat 'em up like combo, and like it freeze frames and does this like weird watercolor thing on them. Like it's a like a old school Tekken game combo. And it's like an 8-12 hit combo before he does the finisher.
Oh my god.
And apparently each one of them, the guy who plays Goju Wolf has gone on Japanese Twitter and posted the combo. So if you want to do the Goju Wolf combo.
I did not know that. What is there a specific character, or is it just like universal?
I don't know. This is like
oh man.
This is just like what I'm hearing from like Reddit and stuff. Because I'm not on Twitter. I deleted everything for Twitter. But yeah.
What a good show.
Anyway, the game I just reviewed last just came out. I'm still working on a few videos. I'm going to try and do like a completionist video for Final Fantasy VI. I'm very close to the end. I just realized I probably should have been editing it as I'm recording it. So I have like 20 hours of recording now.
You're doing a completionist video on Final Fantasy VI. How much charity money have you taken away?
Hey, officially, I donated faster. I donate. Well, there's an allegedly about it. It's the evidence there. Anyway, second, have you heard about that?
About which part of that?
The completionist doing charity fraud.
I did not hear about that. No.
So there's a YouTuber. His whole deal was he 100% video game. He did a video every week, which it became increasingly more obvious that he didn't do it himself. Because like some of his reviews, like the way he was talking about it, clearly was like he was just reading stuff off of Game Facts for a script.
I didn't know that part.
Oh no! Like, have you fully complete Battle Network 1, Press?
Have I completely what?
Mega Man Battle Network. Have you played and completed any one of them?
I beat a few Battle Network games. Yes.
Watch his Battle Network video and tell me that he played the games.
Okay. It's like that, huh?
Yeah. So he did this stuff and then found out that he was doing a charity event for half a decade, and he had almost $1 million in the account from the charity money that never went to charity. Yeah. So he's completely canceled now. It's all good. I don't think he's done the video in like 2 or 3 months. He tried salvaging it, but no,
it's done. Just like this podcast. Say goodnight to Jerry.
Oh, well, I was also going to say I was thinking about doing some ranking videos because that might be faster too. Anyway, we'll see us next time when we do 13, 14, 15, 16. And hopefully, now that I have a job, yay, we can get back to a regular schedule.
I've
Woohoo!
got a jobby, and now we can do a regular scheduled program. Hooray!
Yes. Good night, all.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Oh,
night.
thank you, Rain. You're too kind.
Oh my god.
He's gonna kill me.
We're gonna have to take a pause here real fast. I might have a job. 1 second.
We've got to edit out the part with Kutiri's jobby.
He's got to fight. He's got to fight a Makamo. That's why he stepped away for a second. He has to do his 30-second Doji and Hime fight.
We just hear boop, 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 and the disc.
That's why he's on mute. We can't hear that. Confidential.
Beautiful. Oh, do we even have a blooper reel on this thing? Kachiri, if we have a blooper reel on this thing, you gotta include this part. Or maybe he'll just well, he can't upload the raw because he's gonna edit this part out. So he has to get in the editing.
Yeah, but he has to listen to it. He has to listen to the Frez second stand-up hour while he's on mute. It's like a little treat for the editor.
Editors love little treats like that. It's nice. Otherwise, it's mind-numbing jobs like sitting and editing the Quantum Leap show that we did last week.
Oh yeah.
You just sitting there. There wasn't even anything I needed to cut out or like fluctuate. I just had to sit there and listen to it.
Yeah, you gotta like scrub through all the footage, and if somebody like sneezes or pauses for a little bit too long.
Oh, I apparently start a new job on Monday, so yay!
Yay! Congratulations.
Good news!
Is it
Excellent.
at Takeshi? Is it at a tea shop?
No, it's I'm apparently doing payroll I can't say that word to save my life.
Reconciliation.